This is Tiquan Underwood, and the night before the biggest game of his entire life, Bill Belichick cut him from the team. So let me tell you why and what happened. Tiquan was drafted 253rd overall in the 7th round of the 2009 NFL Draft by the Jaguars after playing 50 games at Rutgers from 05 to 08 and totaled 16 receiving touchdowns, 132 receptions, and 1,900 yards. As a rookie with the Jags, he played in 10 games and caught 8 passes for 111 yards and returned 24 kicks for 561 yards. He was released after the season and was picked up by the Patriots as they thought he could be a good fit as their return specialist. He actually saw some real game action on the offensive side and caught 3 passes from T. Brady for 30 yards for the whole 2011 season. So not really a huge factor to the team as a receiver. Tom's main 2 guys being Wes Welker and Deion Branch. Ocho Cinco was in the receiver room as well, but wasn't used much. Belichick coached them to a 13-3 record that season, easily making it to the divisional round. They blew out the Broncos, and they had a close battle with the Ravens the following week in the AFC Championship. Mind you, a game that was played on January 22nd, and the Super Bowl wasn't until 2 weeks on February 5th. Plenty of time for Bill to change the roster around if need be. Tiquan was very excited for the game, like anyone would. And he was actually heavily in the media the week leading up to the game by getting recognition for his new look.
This week in Indy, he's catching the attention of the media with his old school haircut. It's a high top fade.
It's very throwback. When I'm walking around, I get a lot of older people saying, man, I had that haircut about 20 years ago. And I always get that a lot, so it's pretty funny.
But now, when did you get the Patriot on the back of your head?
For the Super Bowl, my barber wanted to spice things up. So last Saturday, before we flew out, he asked could he put the logo in the back, and I said no problem.
So if you win, will there be a Vince Lombardi trophy or maybe 4 trophies back there?
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I think I could put a Lombardi somewhere on the side.
Man, that's called too much swag right there. That's what that's called.
I absolutely love it. I'm a big fan of the 80s, so I absolutely love the hair. I think it's great.
Last March, I told myself I'm going to grow my hair out. Me and my friends talked about it, decided to go with the high top fade. And that's how it happened.
Everything was going right for Tiquan. Then just less than 24 hours before the game, he got the call. Bill Belichick wanted to see him. He said Bill told him, listen, we're going to let you go and bring somebody up from the practice squad. Once we win, you'll get a ring. You'll get the money for it. Then we're going to sign you back after the game. I mean, at that point, what player would want to hear something like that? After that convo, he admittedly displayed how he felt publicly on Twitter with a few tweets. I'm fine. This will only make me stronger. Tough times never last, but tough people do. His second tweet, I've been through a lot, but there are people in this world with some serious problems, so I can't hang my head. Thank you, Lord. #blessed. His last tweet being, good luck to the New England organization, the coaches, and all my teammates. #PatsNation. After the news took its course and broke headlines, one of his old teammates from the Jaguars wasn't feeling the move. Punter Josh Scooby tweeted, that organization should be ashamed. Awful. Tiquan's agent even noted that Tiquan's family probably was in town already, and that was just simply a dirty move. And I'm sure Bill didn't take that into consideration. Dude probably flew out his family for the biggest game of his life, but I guess that didn't matter to somebody who was trying to win another championship. But why though? Why would Bill Belichick do such a thing? First, people thought either he had broke some rules and was being disciplined for his actions, or that Bill Belichick was just simply one of the coldest guys alive for cutting a player before the biggest game of his young career. And based on Bill, Tiquan didn't break any rules. Simply, he just wasn't useful for their scheme going into the game.
And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the decisions that I think are the best for the football team. T-E-A-M as in team.
So Bill decided to let him go the night before. Mind you, there were 14 days in between these 2 games where something could have been said. If he knew Tiquan wasn't going to fit their scheme that week, why did he allow him to get on a plane to go to Indianapolis? And the dude from the practice squad that was getting pulled up was actually one of Tiquan's old college teammates. Defensive lineman Alex Sylvester was pulled up to be in the rotation for the defensive lineman, mainly to keep the other guys fresh. But if that was the case, Alex would have been signed off the practice squad after the AFC Championship game, so he could be practicing and getting reps in with the 1s and 2s. So that explanation just wasn't enough for me, so I did a little bit more research. And what I think may have caused this surprise cut was maybe because of Tom Brady. See, a few weeks prior in the season, week 14 against Washington, Tiquan may have caused a fight between Tom Brady and offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien, and Bill Belichick had to step in and break them up. But I'm gonna let them tell the story and you tell me what you think.
We had the lead, third down.
Tiquan Underwood is where Tom's supposed to go with the ball, and he's going there, but the guy's not running a great route.
Back in the end zone, intercepted.
I was pissed, obviously, because I threw an interception, and Billy was pissed because I threw an interception. I kind of did something that I don't very typically do, which is, you know, say to the receiver, like, you got to come back and get the ball. And I had no business saying that to Tiquan because it was my fault. And Billy heard it.
And I'm like, look, you got to shut the f*** up. That play's over.
I said something like, no shit.
That is a heated conversation.
So he's like, I got to shut the f*** up. You shut the f*** up.
No, Dad, you know, you tell me, you know, that no shit.
It's close to being a fireable offense. If Tom Brady wanted the new offensive coordinator fired, and I'm Bill Belichick, I'm saying, okay, I'll do that for you because you deserve it. Tom Brady is throwing to a kid named Tiquan Underwood, who now has 2 catches for 17 yards in his life. And Brady was upset that he didn't go get the ball. And the coordinator jumped in and snapped at Tom Brady. That's way out of bounds. Who are you? Because I barely knew who Bill O'Brien was before. In fact, if you'd called me before the game and said, who's the coordinator? I would have said, it's O'Brien, but I can't remember his first name. First-year coordinator wasn't defending Deion Branch or Wes Welker. He was defending some guy who's walked in off the street 2 weeks ago.
Well, was he defending him, or was he just telling Tom, you don't throw that pass in that situation?
Saying, don't yell at him. Don't you know, back off.
Okay, saying he was just a random guy off the streets 2 weeks prior is kind of crazy, even though Tiquan was signed and released a few times throughout the course of the season. So he had to be somebody, they just couldn't make their mind up. And I feel like that incident caused more problems than it needed to. So what was a better way to make the small fry pay for it? Cut him before the Super Bowl. Bill Belichick's payback. Belichick gave Tiquan the option of joining the team on the sideline during the game, but he opted to stay back at the hotel and watch the game on TV. As he watched his team take the L to the younger Manning brother, Eli. And oh yeah, Alex Silvestre, the guy that was pulled up, didn't even see the field. And Ocho, who was out during the AFC Championship, only had 1 reception for 21 yards. Bill did keep his word though and re-signed Tiquan a few weeks after the Super Bowl, but he was released before the start of the next season. He ended up playing through the 2017 season for 4 different teams, 2 more in the NFL and 2 in the CFL, before embarking on his coaching career. In a later interview, Tiquan was asked how he felt looking back at it. He said in New England, Bill cuts dudes at the end of the week, each week. His just happened to be before the biggest game of his career. But what would you rather have happened? Cut the day before the Super Bowl or on Christmas? Because not all Christmas stories have happy endings, especially when Bill Belichick is involved. And Asante Cleveland knows exactly why. In 2015, Asante was in his 2nd year in the league and played in 4 games for the Patriots. When his time with the team came to a sudden end on Christmas, Bill Belichick called during Asante's Christmas dinner. He was like, "Hey Asante, it's Belichick. We need to bring in a cornerback because we're playing the Jets." And they claimed rookie cornerback Troy Hill on waivers from the Cincinnati Bengals. He continued, "I just want to let you know that this is no indication we're moving away from you. We really like you. We just need to make this quick transaction." And Asante, getting the bad news, he at least tried to end the call with a Merry Christmas. But Bill just hung up. In a world where it's hard to stay off our phones, even on holidays, Asante said he had to set new rules thanks to Belichick, saying, "Phone off on Christmas is going to be the new rule I go with for the rest of my life." Belichick wasn't afraid to let players go, even fan favorites. If he thought he wasn't getting the right value from them, it was adios. I'm not making any assumptions, but what do these two have in common? But besides that, cutting players wasn't the only thing he was known for. He also wasn't afraid to speak his mind and talk a little trash either.
I'm gonna smile on my face all day, coach.
Oh, you, Mason. Just you. Why don't we talk after the game, all right? Just shut the up. Can you look at the scoreboard? Every time we run a play on a goal line, it's a mental error and it's a walk-in touchdown. It's a joke. It's a joke. Just go out and measure it. I want to see if it's 2 inches or a foot or what it is. He's not set. He shifts a guy out and he's not set for even half a second.
Oh, we're on that.
You're not on it.
Bill Belichick experienced plenty of success with Tom Brady as QB1. Many say that's the only reason why he is who he is today. But one coach who frequently gave him problems was Rex Ryan. The former New York Jets coach stepped into the office back in 2009 after Bill resigned as the head coach in the year 2000.
I've decided to resign as the head coach of the New York Jets.
By the time Ryan became the head coach, Belichick had already won 6 of 8 divisional titles and won 3 out of 4 Super Bowl appearances. But Ryan was determined to change that and felt that taking shots at Belichick through the media would be the right route to eventually beating him on the field.
The Jets are coming, and we're going to give you everything we got, and that's going to be, I think, more than you can handle.
When it came to Belichick, Ryan only had one plan.
I mean, I came here to kick his butt.
In Ryan's first year, he actually upset the Patriots 16-9 in just his second game. The Jets went 3-2 against the AFC East rivals in their first 2 seasons under Ryan, including a road win in the 2010 AFC divisional round. But that early success went away quickly as the Patriots continued to compete for championships while the Jets started to go into a slump, which left him no other choice but to humble himself.
Thought we had a hell of a chance to win the game against New England, but that's been the story. You know, probably last 4 out of 5 times we played them, it seems like that, but to their credit, they find ways to win.
Mind you, Belichick had never responded to any of Ryan's comments about him up until this point, but a few of his players had his back after Rex Ryan was exposed for having a foot fetish. His alleged foot fetish came to light when this video was leaked back in December of 2010. The lady in the video looked a lot like his wife, and the guy behind the camera sounds a lot like Rex.
Really beautiful feet.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I touch them? They're really soft. They're like really soft. Can I smell them?
Nah, can I smell them? It's just crazy. But when the video went viral and started to circle around the Patriots locker room, Patriots receiver Wes Welker made a lot of foot references in his press conference the week that they faced the Jets.
Toe in the water, you know, you got to jump right in. So, you know, you got your foot up in the air. Want to go out there and just put your best foot forward. Another guy has great feet. He's very patient. You know, he has good feet.
I mean, you just got to give it to him for not even cracking a single smile or laugh. When asked about it, Rex really didn't want to fess up to it if it was him or not.
Did you and your wife make the foot fetish videos?
You know, obviously I knew, you know, these questions, you know, this question's coming and things. It's, you know, this is a personal matter and I'm not going to discuss it. You know, I hope you can respect the fact that I wish not to discuss it.
But after Ryan was fired by the Jets in 2014, he was then hired as the new head coach in the same division for the Bills. And you would have thought he might have wanted to get a little revenge on his old team. But no, as a head coach, he only had one mission, and it was still to go after Bill Belichick.
Do you want your chance in your shot at the New York Jets?
No, I mean, I'll be honest. I think it's still the Patriots that I want the most.
The only time Bill openly spoke about Rex was back in 2015, when the Buffalo media asked him why Rex Ryan's defense has had some success against Tom Brady in the past. Bill answered, "I think our record against him has been okay, and that's all I care about." And he wasn't lying about that, because as of today, Rex Ryan is 4-12 against Belichick. All that talking did him no good, and it was obvious that Bill didn't want anything to do with the guy, with quick handshakes after each game. Belichick was so cold that he almost got into a fight with an old assistant coach just because he didn't speak to dude's wife. This is Eric Mangini, and he is the reason why we know of the Spygate today, because he's the one that ratted on Bill to the NFL. But their relationship started in the early 90s when Belichick took Eric under his wing in Cleveland. Belichick was just starting out his head coaching career while Mangini was just a ball boy. And from there, they grew a friendship that lasted about 15 years until it suddenly came to an end. Eric admired everything about Bill Belichick, so when Belichick was named the defensive coordinator of the Jets under head coach Bill Parcells, Mangini was brought along as a defensive assistant. And in 2000, when Belichick left the Jets to become the head coach of the Patriots, he brought Mangini along with him again, making him the defensive back coach for 5 years before being promoted to defensive coordinator in 2005. But after one season as the coordinator, he accepted the job as the Jets head coach in 2006. which would be his first time away from Bill. And immediately after their 2005 divisional round loss to Denver, Eric started to recruit his new assistant coaches for his new job with the Jets from the Patriots. And once the news got to Bill, he immediately had the locks changed to the stadium so Mangini could never enter. But in his first season, he led the Jets to a 10-6 record and ended up playing Belichick in the first round of the playoffs, where the Patriots ended up winning 36-16. But the following season, the Jets wasn't that successful as they went 4-12, including a week 1 loss against the Patriots 38-14. And after week 1 is when Eric ratted on Bill to officials that the Patriots had illegally filmed the Jets' defensive signals, which we know today as the Spygate, ultimately leaving Belichick with a $500,000 fine from the league, and also was stripped from their first round pick in the 2008 draft. So of course Belichick was heated, and their first time crossing paths again after all the Spygate madness was in 2008 at a coach's dinner, when after the dinner, Julie Mangini, Eric's wife, bumped into Belichick to say hi to ease the tension between him and her husband after all the madness, but Belichick just blew her off and paid her no attention. When she went back and told Eric what just happened, he charged across the room and needed to be held back by other coaches from swinging at Belichick, yelling, "Hey Bill, fuck you."